Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and welcome to the first of many Spotlight on the Community podcasts in 2026. Hope our audience had a wonderful holiday season, and we're off and running with a very frequent guest. Home of Guiding Hands is in the house with us today. Falon Leszczynski is the Vice President of Operations. How you doing, Falon?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine. How was your holiday?
It was good. Good and busy.
Good and busy. That's the way it should be. You're joined by your colleague, Jill Thomas. She's the marketing manager for Home of Guiding Hands. How you doing there, Jill?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us.
Of course. How long have you been with Home of Guiding Hands?
Almost 3 years.
3 years? Okay, good. You've been enjoying every second of it?
Oh, every second.
Yeah,
every second.
It's a great organization. We're going to get into the details on it, and I'm very honored to have as my guest co-host, Om Cabra. He is a junior, one of our fine local high schools. And if the name is familiar, we have featured his sister and his mom on the show many times. How you doing, Om?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. And I agree with what you said that you're going to, before the show, Om said, I'm going to show my mom and my sister how to really do this show. You told that to me, didn't you?
No, 100%. Okay. I'm going to prove it all to them.
Very good. Well, I think Om has a question for you, Falon, right out of the gate.
So what is your mission with the organization? I guess, what is the name of your mission?
Yeah, the mission, exactly, of Home of Guiding Hands.
Yeah, so Home of Guiding Hands is one of the largest service providers for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We serve over 5,000 clients annually and support over 1,200 staff as well.
And how long have you been doing this now?
Oh, gosh, I think it's been over 4 years for me. But Home of Guiding Hands has been around for over 55 years. So we've been in the community a really long time.
Right. And what got your interest in Home of Guiding Hands? What drew you to that organization?
You know, I've always been driven to mission organizations, those that serve the community. I spent a really long time at the YMCA, over 13 years. And then I dabbled in the for-profit for a little bit. All my contracts were nonprofits. And so just really felt, I needed to get back into mission-driven work. And I think Home of Guiding Hands kind of found me, and I've loved every minute being there.
Right. How about you, Jill? What attracted you to the organization?
Yeah, I was actually a volunteer first. I volunteered at the Run Walk. That was my first event that I volunteered at. I worked with people with disabilities in high school and college, and then I started volunteering, and then just like that, they picked me up. So I'm so excited to be here and really excited. We have a Run Walk coming up, and that's the first event that I got to go to, and it's a great event for the community. So. Yeah,
we're going to start chat about that in a while. But Falon, we always want to make sure that when we chat with our wonderful guests like Home of Guiding Hands, there's so many wonderful organizations in this space, of course. Yes. Talk about how you collaborate with some of these groups, whether it's Terry or other folks around the county.
Yeah, so our clients, whether they live with us, they're in our programs, they often live or are in other programs as well. And so there's a lot of collaboration as far as like the care and the daily life of that individual. But I'd also say probably the biggest areas we collaborate on is the advocacy for this community, both at the state and federal level. We really are the voice for those who can't be the voice for themselves, though we do have some amazing self-advocates as well. But I would say it's probably what I'm most proud of is when organizations, like St. Mads and the ARC and Terry and HGH, we get together and we're really amplifying the voice of those who really don't have one. A lot of changes are going on at the state and federal level that are directly impact those that we serve.
Right.
And so I think we become stronger when we do it together.
Yeah, we've always been an advocate of that through Cloudcast Media and, of course, our Spotlight in the Community show, whether it's shining a light on the ones you just mentioned. St. Mads is certainly a favorite guest. Deborah Emerson has been on the show, it seems like a zillion times, in Noah Holmes as well. And I think it's important that people understand, you guys know this because it's in your wheelhouse, that the amount that the folks who have intellectual and physical and developmental disabilities can give so much, and they do give so much to the community. Talk about how important it is. I'll start with you on this, Falon, and then we'll pivot over to Jill in getting that message out.
Yeah, these individuals can do a lot of things. They're very involved in the community. They love things, the same things that you and I love. They love to go to Starbucks. They love to have jobs. They love to contribute to the community. They love to advocate for themselves and others. And I think one of the things that they need sometimes is just a little bit of support. And so it's really important when you have organizations like HGH and Noah Holmes and St. Mads that we provide that support. And some need more support than others, but they're still very active and very involved in the community. And I think that that's been something that's changed throughout the years. And we do a really, really good job of making sure our clients are able to vocalize what they want and their needs are and what they want to be involved in.
Yeah, exactly. You got a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, what made you get into this field?
My big thing is leading people. And so I love, I love organizations in general that, are mission driven. And I love it when you can have a greater impact, and HGH has such a huge impact, whether it be in San Diego. We're also in Imperial Valley. We're growing into the Inland Regional Center. We're also growing in San Gabriel. So our ability to have a greater impact is what drives me personally. And so that's kind of what got me here.
So, Jill, let me ask you this before we start talking about the event that you first got involved in, and we talk about the legacy of Randy Jones, who I was honored to know pretty well, and we did a lot of things together, including podcasting. With this, is this population growing? The ones that are intellectually and developmentally challenged?
Yes, it definitely is. It's a growing population. We have infant development assessments, and we're doing those assessments on infants. And we're seeing that, if you get early help, or there's a lot of help that we have to offer.
Right. And I think, on that point is that as we talk about certain other types of areas, Alzheimer's group is certainly, that's growing because we're getting older on this aspect of it. And that comes with it. We're chatting with Jill Thomas. She's the marketing manager for Home of Guiding Hands, joined by the Vice President of Operations, Falon Leszczynski. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County, whether it's food insecurity, whether it's literacy, whether it's financial, help and so forth. The homeless, they are involved, joined by my guest co-host, Cabra. So, Jill, let's talk about this upcoming 16th annual Randy Jones Run, Walk, and Roll.
Yes, we are very excited. We're very saddened that Randy Jones won't be there. He's just a great community leader, and we are really excited to honor him, especially with a moment of celebration of his life. He worked with us for so many years. This is the 16th Run Walk, but he was involved way before that. He knew us when we were at campus. So we're really excited to honor him. And really excited to have our clients out in the community, to talk to other community members, to see their families, be with them.
And what day is it?
It is the February 7th at 8 a.m. and we have a new location this year. We're at Liberty Station.
A great place to have an event. We've been there many, many times. What time does it kick off?
The race kicks off at 9 a.m., but we're opening up at 8 a.m. There'll be some music, there'll be food. And lots of different people to talk to. Right.
So just go to the website to sign up. I take it, and there's a fee, I imagine, to help support the Home of Guiding Hands?
Yes. You can go to www.randyjonesrunwalk.org, and there's about a $40 registration fee, discounts for military and kids.
Right. How many folks are you expecting?
Over 300. Yeah.
Nice. Good. Okay. Yeah. Is the event growing?
Yeah, so this is one of our special events where our clients are participate the most in.
Nice.
And so it's awesome for the community to get out and see directly who these, who they're benefiting, and they get to enjoy the race and walk, roll, however you want to get across the finish line. But you can do it while also doing it with our clients too.
Right, exactly. Talk a little bit about the life planning program. What's that all about?
Yeah, so our life planning program is run by an amazing woman. Her name's Wendy Smith. She also has a child with a developmental disability. He's an adult now, but she realized that there were a lot of challenges that parents faced with not understanding the system, not knowing how trusts work, not knowing, how to set up all those business things, but also all the program type things that are available out in the community. And so the life planning workshop series really speaks to all of that and helps families put a plan together so that they can feel really good about what there is going to happen with their child as they age. A lot of this population is outliving their parents, which was not normal.
That's right.
It really, when the system was originally designed, it was, parents were outliving their children with developmental disabilities, and that's reversed now. And so a lot of families have a lot of fear and anxiety about what's going to happen when I'm not here. And that workshop helps put that at ease.
Yeah, we come back from break. We're going to continue the conversation with Falon Leszczynski. She is the Vice President of Operations for Home of Guiding Hands, joined by her colleague, Jill Thomas, Marketing Manager. I know Om has a question on what are some of the things that really great stories you had to tell about that. And we'll also talk about some of the challenges. And Falon, as you know, we always save time in the second half of the interview. What can our Spotlight and the community listeners do to help support your efforts when we return after this brief message?
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 20th year, brought to you by the fine folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County. Always pleased to have a return appearance by our friends from Home of Guiding Hands. Falon Leszczynski is with us again, which is wonderful. Vice President of Operations for the organization, joined by her Marketing Manager, Jill Thomas. And I'm honored to have as my guest co-host, Om Cabra. He is a junior in one of our fine high schools in San Diego County. And Om, I think you have a question for either Falon or Jill. We'll start with Falon, maybe.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what story makes you most proud about your organization?
Oh gosh, Jill's got some amazing ones. I think the one initially that comes to my head is, more recently when SNAP benefits were halted, throughout the state, throughout the country, really. Our organization really rallied and we pulled together funds so that the individuals that we served didn't go without. I think a lot of people don't realize that, the ability to go buy groceries can sometimes be a big challenge because an individual that might have an intellectual developmental disability isn't working, or because there isn't any job available that meets their needs. And so it was really important to us that we were able to step up and do that for the client so that they didn't, they don't understand what's going on, in the world of politics. And so we wanted to ensure that they didn't go without. But Jill has some amazing stories because she gets to join our client social club all the time. And I'm really jealous because they have so much fun and she gets to really see how the clients are just an amazing part of our community.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun. Our client social club, it's a group, it's our clients. They get to decide the activities that we do. They get to plan it. They get to be there for cleanup, setup, all of it. And just recently we did a talent show. It was our second talent show. And we had a client who he does the best impressions. He does like Cookie Monster, Tweety Bird, all these different cartoon characters, and he's awesome at it. And he's just hilarious. But I was very excited because he's always been great at impressions. We did a comedy show, and his dream is always to be performing as a comedian. So we said, we absolutely need an opener. And of course, we'll have one of our clients. So Mitch came, he performed at the comedy show at the University Club, and he rocked it and
killed it.
Yeah, and he got a standing ovation. It's things like that where I'm just so proud of Home of Guiding Hands. We really, we see our clients' dreams and we help make that happen.
So you know what that means, Falon, that the next time you and Jill are on, Mitch is coming in.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
so
be great.
We can make that happen for sure.
No, I'm telling you, it's going to be comedy hour and the spotlight on the community show, for God's sake. I think that's great. Our the senior associate producer, Brandon Joe, will be out there, making sure this is on YouTube and maybe an Academy Award performance, but we're not quite sure on this. So would love to have, Mitch come on when you folks are back on talking about all of these things. Chat a little bit about, you mentioned some of the challenges, obviously, with the SNAP program and all on this. I'll start with you on this, Falon, and you can certainly add to it. Jill, what other challenges are out there for folks that were in your space?
Yeah, it's the never-ending changes in funding.
Yeah.
It's the kind of the elephant in the room. You can't not talk about it.
Right.
The governor's budget is coming out. I think it's today, actually. And so we're a little anxious. There is a deficit, and we understand that. And but these are people's lives, and so. It's just, we know that there's going to be some funding challenges both federally and with the state, and it's just how are we going to work through that?
Right.
And so, you've asked many times, how can the community help?
Right.
I think the first and foremost, use your voice, be an advocate. When you have the ability to speak for those who can't speak for themselves, that's, I think that is where anybody can help, regardless of your income level. The other thing is obviously supporting our events. We have several of them. Our run walk is coming up. You can get a nice exercise in right before the Super Bowl. So, and we are honoring our dear friend Randy. So I really, it's going to be an amazing event. We have our annual gala comes up around May time. We have poker tournaments, we have pub crawls, we have golf tournaments, we have something for everybody.
And that's all on the website?
All on the website. And then the other thing would be come out and volunteer. We have several that you can volunteer at these events. You can also volunteer at some of our client events. And so there's several ways to get involved and help.
Yeah, let me ask Ohm this. He comes from a family that is very giving. They're always out in the community doing types of things. Are a lot of your colleagues at your high school, do they do volunteer work and community service?
Well, yeah, we do missions outside of the country. So a couple years ago, we went to Fiji and we did missions there. We actually repainted a school in Fiji. We go out in the community. We do... we give back, we prepare food for the homeless. I think Martin Luther King Jr. Day, instead of having break, we'll actually making food for policemen and local fire department.
That is amazing. I love the younger generation getting involved.
Well, I was going to ask you that, is that, and we talk about this with all the nonprofits that come in, is that a great opportunity? It seems like this group of folks, like folks that are Ohm's age and maybe a little bit older, in this, that they really do have a giving back spirit. They just have to be aware of what is out there to give back to in that area. How many do you have a waiting list of people that need the services of Home of Guiding Hands, or that's never an issue, or that is always an issue?
It's an issue when we don't have staff. So that would be the other way to get involved. We have several open positions, part-time, very fractional part-time, full-time. We try to serve everyone that we can, as long as we have the staff to do so. I think it's a bigger challenge more so in like our community service programs. Our homes are staffed 24/7 and we make that work. So
right. How many of the folks that go through your programs that you serve in a year actually are residents that are staying over?
So we have, it's about 160 of the 5,000 clients we serve are in our residential program.
Right. And are they in that indefinitely, or how does that work?
Yeah. So we actually, one of the things HDH is most proud of is we've evolved. We actually just opened, I think it's been about a year, our first medical home. And so we have youth homes. And so as they age, we hope they age into our adult homes. And then as they need more medical needs, we're trying to pivot some of our homes to be able to support them medically through end of life.
Right. We're chatting with our friends from Home of Guiding Hands. Falon Leszczynski is the Vice President of Operations, joined by Jill Thomas, Marketing Manager. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by our good friends at Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things in the community. I know you have a question, certainly for Falon, but Jill can answer it as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what do you look for when you have volunteers? Is there any special thing, or is there anything in particular?
That is a great question. I think what we're looking for is that they have a want and a desire and a need to want to help others. And that's really it. There's no secret sauce to it. As long as they're willing and open-minded and come in, willing to help however they can. I think that's the type of volunteer that we're really wanting.
You were mentioning staff, and I do have a question for you, Jill, on the best way to be in marketing this. That's a tough job for any nonprofit, is marketing and cutting through all the stuff that is out there. But you had mentioned about there's some openings for staff. What type of requirement for staff? Do they have to have a college degree? Do they have to be trained in the area of working with these folks, or not necessarily? Not necessarily.
So we have jobs that start out all the way from entry level. Have to be 18. That's the one requirement.
Yeah.
But we have jobs all the way from no experience all the way to we're looking for speech pathologists, physical therapists. So we run the gamut. We're really looking for those who want to serve and help others.
Yeah, that's good. So Jill, certainly any marketing manager at any nonprofit has got their hands full with this, because there's just so much great work out there, as we talked about before. What is your secret sauce? Is it social media? Is it just a combination of everything? It's just being out in the community, certainly events you get to meet with folks. What do you do to be successful?
It's definitely a combination, but my favorite is definitely talking to people face to face. I love talking about our mission. I mean, I started as a volunteer, and now I can talk about Home of Guiding Hands for years and years. I think it's a great organization. I mean, we have great benefits. We have good pay. So, and then we do a great thing. So your heart is full at the end of the day. And that's where I try and talk face to face. But of course, social media, follow us, Home of Guiding Hands on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Right.
But a combination of things, LinkedIn too. We're just here to talk to people and share our mission.
Yeah, Falon, we probably brought this up as well in your previous visits and all this, and I think it's something that we've been talking about for 20 years, and it really can't be stated enough. There's no such thing as too small of a donation, and there's no such thing as too little time to volunteer. Talk about how important that is to let people know. Just get engaged is the thing. You're not going to turn down Bill Gates' money, but you certainly know that whatever people can afford to do in terms of either their time time, treasure, or talent, you'll take.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. It's the 3 T's. I think every nonprofit organization, you bring a lot of value, whether it is your time, your talent, or your treasure. So whether you're bringing forth, a donation, however big or small, or you're volunteering your time, or you're giving us some of your knowledge, So those who have been in this field for a really long time are very valuable. Or if you've seen something in another state or another area that works. I think we see that with the homeless population, right? A lot of what works in other states, California's finding, could be beneficial for us. And so that's kind of that talent piece of it. And so I think that you're right. It's no donation is too big, too small, but it's also the time that people can give to us, and just really showing that they care. Our clients love to socialize with the community. They love to be involved, and so however you can help us do that is supporting our clients and is very valuable to our organization.
It's really good to hear from Jill about the social club, so to speak, whatever the name of it is for Home of Guiding Hands. And as more and more people understand this population, and they love to be social, they love to give back, they love to create, they love to do all these things, which is wonderful, and it should be. And to the point is just that need to make people aware of these opportunities in this area. So, Jill, any final comments of how we can continue to elevate the Home of Guiding Hands?
Yeah, I think definitely getting involved, be part, if you see someone with a disability, be with them, talk with them. They're a person just like us. They have dreams, hopes. So be present in the moment.
I think that's great. How about you, Falon? Any final comments?
Would love to see you out for our Randy Jones Run Walk February 7th at Liberty Station. But also want to echo Jill, whenever you see an individual out in the community, whether they do or don't have a disability, I think we can all just be a little kinder to one another and just simple acknowledgement of their presence. And I want to echo that I just love that, your school is getting involved in the community, and I hope that others follow as well.
Yeah, there's 500,000, San Diego County students mixed in, not counting the private schools or the parochial schools. So there's plenty of bandwidth to get young folks involved. And we all know this. Once you get involved volunteering at whatever age it is, it's something that doesn't leave you. And I'm sure there's so many stories with Home of Guiding Hands where Joe Blow had been on the sort of border of wanting to work with us. Now he's been there for 25 years or whatever the case may be. And those are great. Well, Falon, always good to see you. And you have so much great content for Home of Guiding Hands. Jill, what a pleasure. We're going to look forward to have our stand-up comedian Mitch come on the next time that you're on, and wishing you nothing but great success with the Randy Jones event on February the 7th, and look forward to having you come back on.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And what did you think about your first co-hosting podcast experience?
I think it was great. I hope so many wishes to your organization, and hope major growth happens to you guys.
Thank you.
Very good. That's a great message. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by the fine folks of Mission Fed Credit Union, 60 plus years of doing great things in our community. And to our audience, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.